Howdy Tenno, before the video fully starts, I want to say that there is a longer version of this. I know a lot of people don't want to watch 35-minute videos, so I took out my rambling and I made this as short as I possibly could. I hope you enjoy. This video is going to be the best Warframes that you can choose in the circuit. As you can see right here, they have a set rotation every single week. Okay, so week 1, we got Excalibur, Trinity, and Ember. You may have started out with Excalibur. As you can see right here, you can easily get it by going to the assassination on Mars, or very high % chance of drop rate. I would not choose Excalibur. Next, we got Trinity. In my personal opinion, I don't think it's that hard, but the mission does take a lot more time than a lot of the other assassination missions. If you're new, you might want to pick this. While with Ember, as you can see, the blueprint for most of these can be bought from the market, so that's no issue. But all you have to do is go do the assassination on Saryn. And as you can see, the drop chances are very nice. Hardest one out of all three, Excalibur, Trinity, and Ember, is 100% Trinity. Okay, we're moving on to week 2. We got Loki, Mag, and Rhino. To get Rhino, all you have to do is the Jackal assassination on Venus. And as you can see by the drop chance, you're very likely to complete it within maybe 5 to 7, 10 tries. But then we got Mag. You just need to go to Phobos, do the assassination there. And again, the drop chances are pretty much the same. Okay, and now we got Loki. Basically, all three have the exact same drop chance, pretty much, and the same way of obtaining them, just doing easy assassinations. So for this one is all up to you. Week 3, I am gonna start with Nyx. Now, Nyx is probably one of the easiest ones to obtain in the whole game when it comes to the assassinations. And just like the ones in the last week, very high chance of getting all of these. Now we got Frost. To get him is very easy. Again, it's just another assassination on series. Same drop chance basically as the last one. We're moving on to Ash. And as you can see right here, there are very, very low drop chances for every item. They are all railjack missions. You do not want to have to do this. Pick Ash. Week 4 will have Saryn, Vauban, and Nova. As you can see with Nova, it is basically the same thing, running an assassination with about the same drop chances. And then Vauban, you can get them so easy from the Nightwave. All you have to do is start a Nightwave. The Nightwave could have just started, and you will have 75 credits that you can buy Vauban for. I did get a lot of comments about Vauban, so I figured I would edit this a little bit. I said in the longer version of this video to pick Vauban. A lot of people have told me in the comments that it's not a very smart idea to pick Vauban, especially for beginners. And that is because there are a ton of great things you need in the Nightwave that you probably won't have as a beginner. So my apologies. I do believe I was wrong about this one. In my opinion, for me, buying Vauban with credits was easier. But I had already played a lot, which meant I had stacked up everything I needed out of the Nightwave. If you have not done that, pick Vauban. And then we got Saryn, which is another assassination. Who would have guessed? On Sedna, this is another one that you guys commented and let me know I made a mistake on. I said don't pick Saryn. You should definitely pick Saryn. I got reminded, as you can see right here, you have to fight the arena first before you can even fight the assassination target. That can be very hard for new players. Thank you again for everyone that corrected me. Now we're on to week 5, where we have Nekros, Valkyr, and Oberon. Nekros, it's a very easy mission, and as you can see though, the drop chances are literally equal to each other. And now we have Valkyr. You're just doing another assassination on Jupiter. That's it. It's that simple. And looking at the drop chances, very, very simple. We got Oberon. This is the one that you should pick. The reason is you're going to be looking for caches in different areas. And if you look right there at the drop chances, oh, a petty 10% for all three. Now we're halfway through. Week 6. We have Hydroid, Mirage, and Limbo. Mirage and Limbo are both gotten just from doing a quest. For Mirage, all you have to do is complete the Hidden Messages quest. For Limbo, all you have to do is the Limbo Theorem quest. This is the easiest one ever. If you don't have Hydroid, take Hydroid. It is the same as the other ones, just doing an assassination on Earth, and the drop chances are very high. We're gonna move on to week 7. We have Mesa, Chroma, and Atlas. Mesa is not that hard to get, but there is a catch to it. By looking at the drop chance, it's not that bad. It looks just like all of the others, but it requires a certain key, and you also have to get the blueprint from doing Patient Zero quest. To be able to run this, you have to craft the nav coordinates. They are only obtainable in invasions. We're gonna move over to Atlas. You get his blueprint from doing the Jordas Precept quest. Very easy to do. And then just like the other ones, to get the other parts, which all have very high drop chances, just run another assassination. Not hard. Assassination on Eries. We're gonna move over to Chroma. This one is a little bit different. You get the blueprint, again, by completing a quest, the New Strange, and then you get his other pieces by completing certain junctions. To craft him, you also need Vault's Neurologicz, Ember Neurologicz, Frost Chassis, and Saryn systems. So again, pick Chroma. Alright, we're on week 8. We have Ivara, Inaros, and Titania. Starting with Titania, to get her blueprint and all the components, is doing the Silver Grove quest. Now, Inaros is the exact same thing. All you have to do to get the blueprint and all 3 pieces is the Sands of Inaros quest. But Ivara, look at this. If you're like me and you're not very good at spies, or you just don't like doing spies, good luck. Look at the chances. 10, 12, 7, 5. Look at the expected. It's about 8 to 10, but look at nearly guaranteed. 65, 54, 88, all the way up to 118. We are on week 9. We have to talk about Nidus, Octavia, and Harrow, or Harrow, however you want to say it. The funny part is, all 3 of these were in my top 10 hardest Warframes to farm video. We're gonna start with Nidus. First, you have to get the blueprint. Again, you have to do the Glassed Gambit quest. That's not too hard. And a lot of people will say that this one actually isn't that hard, but it's also a pretty low drop chance compared to all of the other ones that we looked at so far. We're gonna move on to Octavia. As you can see with Octavia, it's a total different way of obtaining. You have to do the Octavia's Anthem quest just for the blueprint. The chassis, you have to do a music puzzle on Lua. The systems, you get from a cache. And then the other one is a sea rotation in a survival. We're gonna move on and look at Harrow or Harrow, however you want to say it. Again, you get the blueprint by completing a quest. You have to complete the Chains of Harrow quest. The chassis, you will get flooded with. And as you can see, look at the drop chances. As low as 6% to 15%. There's Spy, where you can get Neurologicz, or a survival, but again it's Kuba. Defection missions are not very beginner friendly. I am starting to lean towards Harrow. Okay, we're on week 10. You can pick between Gara, Khora, or Revenant. How to get Gara. The drop chances, yes, they're pretty low, but some of them are also pretty high. The reason I say this isn't that hard is because you're gonna want to be doing bounties. Either way, you want to rank up your standing. So you're gonna want to be doing Cetus bounties. The different ways of obtaining Revenant can be very, very intimidating, but it is just like Gara. You just need to do bounties. Ignore Plague Star. You don't have to do Steel Path. If you look, it's a lower chance anyway. Yes, the chances aren't too amazing, but they're also not too low. Again, you're gonna want to do your bounties. Khora. The thing about this is it goes by A, B, C, but it doesn't change until every 2 stages. So it's more like AA, BB, CC. So you'll have to be in the mission for a while until you get to be able to get to C, which is where you get systems and blueprint. Pick Khora. Now we are on the last week. Now week 11, we have Garuda, Baruch, and Hildren. Garuda, by looking at this, you can see it's very, very similar to the last few that we looked at, except for it's not Cetus. You'll be in Fortuna doing bounties. Moving on to Baruch, this one right here, if you're a beginner, you might want to pick this one. Not everybody will have rank 2 or rank 3 with Little Duck. There's a lot of fishing, a lot of mining, and even harder materials. And honestly, I would say to get this. Even if you can't get the resources to craft this yet, I would still choose it, because Garuda needs basically the same things, but Garuda is easier to obtain. And then we got Hildren, which again, you gotta be rank 2 with Little Duck. They're all very similar here, but the thing is, Hildren, you have to be able to complete the Exploiter Orb. The thing about this is though, say that you chose this in the circuit and you obtained all the pieces. If you look right here, you will still have to run the Exploiter Orb regardless. If you can't kill the Exploiter Orb, obviously you don't want Hildren. Go for Garuda or Baruch. Alright, I'm not going to talk about all of the other resources that you can get during the circuit. This is just about what I think are the best Warframes you should be choosing every week, especially for beginners. Again, I want to point out that every single thing I said was all my opinion. I don't know everything. I learn more from you guys commenting than I do playing the game at this point. When I make a mistake, correct me please. If you made it this far, I want to thank you so much. You guys are amazing. If you ever want to play with me in the game, feel free to add me. I will always have my name in the pinned comment and in my description of every Warframe video. Anyone feel free to add me. If you need help with something, feel free to ask. Or if I'm streaming one day and you just want to run missions with me, let's all have fun. Feel free to join. But I do want to thank every single one of you guys that's given me so much support in the last few weeks. I never thought I would make it this far, and it's all thanks to the Warframe community. There is nobody else that I can thank anymore. I'm not gonna get all sappy over here and start wah and crying to you guys, but I do want you guys to know that I appreciate it so much. Again, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I would also love to hear your opinion on which Warframes that you think should be picked in the circuit every week compared to mine. A little recap: week 1, Excalibur, Trinity, Ember. I would pick Trinity. Week 2, Loki, Mag, Rhino. This one is kind of personal preference. It's all depending on you right here. If you picked Mag when you started, don't pick her. I would say Rhino or Loki. Week 3, Ash, Frost, Nyx. Pick Ash. Week 4, Saryn, Vauban, Nova. You should definitely pick Saryn. Week 5, Nekros, Valkyr, Oberon. Pick Oberon, hardest one to get. Week 6, Hydroid, Mirage, Limbo. Pick Hydroid unless you need Mirage or Limbo for subsuming. Week 7, Mesa, Chroma, Atlas. Pick Chroma. Unless you want Mesa or Atlas, pick Chroma. Week 8, Ivara, Inaros, Titania. Ivara all the way. Week 9, Nidus, Octavia, and Harrow. This one, again, personal preference. Pick whichever one you think is the hardest to get. I chose Harrow. Week 10, Gara, Khora, Revenant. I'm going to stand with Khora no matter what. Week 11, Garuda, Baruch, and Hildren. This one, I don't have one because all of them can be very hard for a beginner. But if you can handle going into Fortuna and getting the certain resources and you can't handle Hildren yet, I would say personal preference between Garuda and Baruch. Either one. But that's a little recap. So again, thank you guys. I hope this helped in any way, shape, or form. If I got anything incorrect, let me know in the comments. If you have any suggestions, video ideas, anything you need help with, ask me in the comments. This is how I come up with my video ideas. If I don't have you guys telling me what you need or what you need to learn, I don't have video ideas. I don't know what to put out. I need your feedback. If you comment a video idea, most likely I will do it, and you will see your comment in the video. But if you did like this video, if it helped you at all, or if you just want to be polite, leave a like. You don't have to. It's just a kind thing to do. Give me some video ideas. Let me know which ones you would pick in the circuit down below. Add me in the game if you want to play. I'll be streaming it a lot more often. It'll be in the description or in the pinned comment. Also, if you want, you can subscribe. You don't have to, of course. I'm not only going to be doing Warframe, but it will be my main concern for the time being. So if you want to subscribe, please do. It makes me smile. Okay, enough goofing around. I didn't expect this video to be this long. I love you guys. I'm out.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top. Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want.